They may have to go to a staging area and walk or take public buses or something. I don't know, but I know from the anti-VEF experience that they've actually controlled the trains. So people have to be aware of that. Maybe you have to go pretending that you're planning to go on a hike or something, and demonstrate that you're or pretend that you're not going there to demonstrate.
Now, again, the Swiss have some of the best rights in the world, but the outsiders don't. And that's the way it's supposed to be in a sovereign country, so I can't actually say it's bad. But that's why it's important for Swiss to go, because they can't, from what I've read, and correct me if I'm wrong, they can't stop a Swiss citizen from getting on that train, can they?
Actually, no, they have. They have stopped Swiss citizens if they were planning to protest, yes.
But the Swiss have got some of the strongest protest rights anywhere. That they need to file complaints if that happens. That's outrageous that Swiss would have their right of travel blocked for a bunch of outlying Auslanders coming in there.
Well, I got to tell you, in many ways, this is a very secure place, and security trumps pretty much everything else.
Well, they're not going to stop people from this quest, and we've got maps up on the site. I mean, they're not going to be able to stop French driving in, Germans driving in, Italians driving in. That's why, if you're listening, folks, you've got to go. And regardless, shoot video of them stopping you at the train. Upload it to YouTube. Everyone listening should upload to U.S. and European YouTube. They're trying to block everybody so you can't watch American YouTubes and we can't watch European. They don't want us to get together. They want to geolocate. And they admittedly are trying to go after alternative press. They're changing the algorithms. By the way, there's no doubt our term Bilderberg protest would have hit #1 yesterday. There is no doubt they've now created a catalog of names because classic anti-globalist names don't work now when we do it. Only weird search terms that then link to articles we've written work. So they're, again, the head of Google goes every year. They are desperate to keep us from knowing they're there, knowing who's there, or protesting. Why is that, Peter?
Well, I think these are the elites, and they have their own agenda. And what I don't understand is why are people giving in to their agenda? Why do governments give in to this agenda?
Because he who has the gold makes the rule, and even though they're criminals, they literally control trillions, and they've bought and paid for almost everybody while we were asleep. And now they're so arrogant, they're burning down society to consolidate it. And that's why they're hiding out in a rural area. They normally go to very big resorts right on the beach. But now the protests are so huge all over Europe, they are literally hiding. And that's why we must rout them out, and by God, we will. So you're going to be going there, aren't you, Peter?
I will be trying to get down there, yes. And I'll find alternative ways to get in there if I have to.
God bless you. We're going to be talking to him. We'll cover the aftermath, of course, the next week as well. Thank you so much, Peter. Great job. Folks, you know this is important. March on tyranny peacefully. Let's go ahead and talk to Nick in Italy, also bordering Switzerland. Nick, where are you in Italy?
Yeah, how you doing, Alex? I'm actually in the city of Bologna, which you mentioned so many times about the Bologna bombing. So as a native of the city, I'd like to thank you for being the only American media personality to actually mention that.
What, that our government bombed you to blame it on their enemies? Yeah, we're very sorry.
Yeah, died, 300 people were injured in that, and some of those guys are actually over there in St. Moritz partying it up. And, you know, I was born about 9.5 months after that event, so, and my parents were there. We're very close. So, I mean, that's something, every time you mention it, you know, I get a little bit emotional about it because it's very, very close to me. So I want to just tell American folks how close this thing is to me. And what these guys are doing is just criminal. There's no other words for it. Second of all, you mentioned Asia. Now that there's going to be a lot of election coming up in Asia. They just had it in Burma. They're going to be in Thailand. And they were pushing one big thing. In 2015, they will have something called the EAC, the Asian Economic Community. Does that sound familiar? The EEC, the European Economic Community, we have the same thing.
Yeah, they're already signing deals, merging them. Now, I'm going from memory, but where is Bologna? How long will it take you to get into Switzerland?
I think to the border is about 300 to 400 kilometers because you have to go past Milan and then past the Alps mountains, and then you have to go to St. Moritz. I mean, I might have a chance to go. I may actually have to pull some strings, but I'm going to really try hard to get there because I wanted to go a few years ago when they had it in the island of Stresa.
Look, you got to go. 20 years from now, if these people win, you are going to gnash your teeth wishing you'd gone. Please, Please go. Do whatever you have to. Everybody, go. I mean, it's so important. As you said, the same globalist almost killed your parents with that stage bombing in Bologna, and now declassified. The Italian government admits it, with NATO and U.S. intelligence, a bunch of bombings to be blamed on political enemies there, and false flags. You've got to go. Every person that goes is so important. God bless you. Good to hear from you from Italy. Let's talk to Paul in Ireland and John in Scotland. Paul, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hello, Alex.
Hello. Hello.
The first thing I'd like to say is that this country, Ireland, very soon is going to collapse. And many people are aware that there's a very grave situation. The vast majority, I think, are still clueless as to what is the solution.
Well, you notice you were the fastest-growing winner until you signed on to the euro, and suddenly they imploded you because that euro treaty was the agreement to go under their receivership. You've been economically conquered, but I've seen it in your Irish Times. Your people, it seems, do know what's happening. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, unfortunately, the people were bullied into voting for these treaties. And finally, they bite the bait because money is so many.
Yeah, they voted no the first time, yeah.
What Gerald Celente said yesterday is absolutely correct and applies to this country. That direct democracy now is the only answer. I contacted yesterday the founder of the Direct Democracy Ireland and told him about your program to listen to Gerald Celente, because the government we have here, going back to Brian Cowen's government, Cowen's approach with the bankers, with the bailouts, was basically like when you're attacked by a mugger who says, "Give me all your money or I'll shoot you." Well, Brian Cowen, as Prime Minister, was the kind of man who would hand over the wallet and give everything. Now that we have a new government, the policy of the new government of Enda Kenny is to make a deal with the mugger and pay by installments. You're going to lose everything either way.
What did the Irish think of a few months ago, the head of your central bank saying, it's good for Ireland to be run by foreign banks. We're going under foreign banks' control. I mean, it was just a total statement of treason out in the open.
Unfortunately, the people have been so brainwashed with what Colonel Robert Hickson of U.S. Army Intelligence called perception management, as he said in one of his talks. Perception management, as we called it in the CIA. If you mention Bilderberg on talk radio in this country, you get dismissed as a lunatic. And
you know why? Because for 50 years they said it didn't exist, and now there it is. Okay, it's no big deal, but you're still crazy if you don't like it. But we shut down whole countries for them to meet, but they have no power.
We're being shut down here. We were told that by privatizing our trash collection, that is going to save money. Well, it saves me for the county. But now I'm burdened with a crushing fee to pay every time my trash is collected. And they tell us they have schemes they're going to put us on to help save us money.
It's horrible, my friend. I understand it's the austerity. It's the scam. Thank you so much, John in Scotland and others. Straight ahead, if you want to join us from Europe, 651-695-7777 is the international line, 651-695-7777. Dial your U.S. access code. We'll be back. Reports live from Bilderberg coming up the next hour. Okay, I want to go to John in Scotland and others. Katherine Albrecht, who's had breast cancer and is undergoing chemotherapy, is a great talk show host here on Genesis. She's going to be joining us at the 8 after next hour for 2 segments. Then we're going back to the team, boots on the ground at Bilderberg 2011 in St. Moritz. My guys got in, thank God, and are there reporting it. And we got the big protest coming up on Saturday. And next hour, I do have to blitz through some news as well when they join us. But I look at the news here. Lack of buyers may force Treasury to boost rates. Fed to end $600 billion purchase of bonds. So there's the signal for interest rates to go up, but they're continuing QE2 and just not calling it QE3. We also, again, have Obama saying more trillions must be given to, quote, the Greeks, but doesn't go to the Greeks. It goes to the private banking cartels, and most of the money is not owed by the Greeks. It's how they lie and tell you this is a bailout. No, it's not. Remember, the other bailouts were going to fix it, remember? President Barack Obama said today that European countries need to, taxpayers need to put more money in to help Greece and give it to the banks. Oh, isn't that nice? That's exactly what we're talking about and why Bilderberg is so dangerous and so disgusting. Also, remember that Midas Resources, the trusted name in precious metals with the best deals I found anywhere on gold and silver, have a lot of radio specials. They got a list of them. And when you call, just say, I want to hear the Alex Jones radio specials. But Midas Resources is sponsoring our reportage in Switzerland. So they're the place to get your precious metals if you also want to support liberty. 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. The great brokers are standing by to take your order or answer your questions. Also, we have all the anti-globalist T-shirts. We have the new Discover the Spirit of 1776 shirt that I basically designed. I'm proud of it. I think it's the best shirt we've got. A lot of other amazing shirts available at Infowars.com. The books, the videos, the tapes, all of it gets information that you can watch, get more informed than give to others. The prisonplanet.tv membership's 15 cents a day. The live stream of the show, special reports, all my films, higher quality podcast. We're starting the new TV show soon. You've already seen some beta testing of that on prisonplanet.tv. $5.95 a month, 15 cents a day, or sign up for a year, get 3 months free, prisonplanet.tv. But don't forget the online video bookstore/apparel store at Infowars.com that is funding this cutting-edge 21st century next-level network against the globalist. Let's go to, got a call from Saudi Arabia, but let's go to John in Scotland first. John, and we got Garth in Norway, and I got a guest coming up. Man, I need to get to these people. John in Scotland, you're on the air.
Alex, good afternoon to you from sunny Scotland. You mentioned that, the bankers weren't even hiding it. I'm going to read you something from today's Scottish Daily Mail newspaper.
Yes, sir.
And it's a quote from an admission from Chief Executive Stephen Hester, who's the Chief Executive of the Royal Bank of Scotland, who received in 2008 the biggest bailout in UK history of £45 billion, which is about $70 billion. Chief Executive Stephen Hester provoked a furious reaction when he said there may have been some leakage from taxpayer funds to his senior staff's bonus pool. More than 100 senior executives at the state-owned bank pocketed $1 million plus salaries last year, and an additional 323 key staff sharing $375 million.
Yeah, I've seen that. It is just wall-to-wall, absolute, total corruption. What is your view of the protests we're calling for against the Bilderberg Group?
It's interesting because the normal guy in my street who pays his mortgage and has his kids has no idea this is going on.
Well, sir, it's up to us, like Paul Revere, to warn them. It isn't the British that are coming. It's the New World Order, pot-bellied, parasite vampires. And we need to have that demonstration. We'll talk to Saudi Arabia and Norway next. Continued Bilderberg 2011 coverage. Everything is coming to a head. New wars in Yemen, imploding stock markets. It's all coming up. Genetically modified cows that are part human that produce female breast milk, human breast milk. We're going to break it down. Katherine Albrecht joining us. Our reporters from Bilderberg. Let's jam in two in this short segment. Gareth and then the other caller from Saudi Arabia. Gareth, you're on the air from Norway. Welcome. What's your view on demonstrating against the Bilderberg Group in St. Moritz?
I'm not going to make it there, but yeah, I hope a lot of people do, man. I hope a lot of people make it there. That's my view on it, and just protest it. It's out of control, basically.
What do folks in Norway think of this whole banking takeover?
The media here is just, it's out of control, man. They are so controlled that it's out of control, you know what I mean? Like today I just saw on the front page of one of the biggest papers, they're pushing the whole Gaddafi and his soldiers with Viagra again. Like today on the front page. It's like, yeah,
that's back in the Fox News is reporting he has rape gangs with Viagra, even though 3 weeks ago the State Department admitted that was totally not true.
Yeah, of course, man. The current Prime Minister in this country has been a Bilderberger. I can't remember which year. He's confirmed being a Bilderberger. And his father, Torvald Stoltenberg, he's been many times, man. And this guy, like, I just realized because I went to a Bilderberger meeting last night with one of the only independent net news web pages in this country. There was like a meeting just about Bilderberger. There was about 30 people there. It was really interesting. Wow, I really just realised how influential this guy is and how scary he is, man. Like, it's this. I mean, I swear, man, this country is like a guinea pig for the new